So this is my latest in a series of letters to my grandchildren. Dear Hank and Nux, and all my other sweet grandchildren, there's a line I came across a few years ago that stuck with me ever since. Be the person you needed when you were younger. And that's not really meant so much for you, but it's meant for us grandparents, us parents, and the example we should set and the kind of person we should be for you. But it also applies a little bit to you and what kind of friend you should be for other people, things like that. And we'll talk about that. So this first part is a little more for the adults, the grandparents, but it's about looking back and remembering what kind of adult you had in your life that really made an impact on you. It's about what kind of adult you wished you would have had in your life. Someone to maybe steer you clear of a bad habit or help you out when you were feeling really down, or offer a kind word when you were not feeling real good about yourself. And so this is all about thinking, what can I do to be that kind of person to somebody else? And so now as grandparents, we get to be that person in the room. We're not just a couple of old faces they see 1 or 2 days a week or a month or whatever. We're a safe harbor. We're someone that can offer encouragement without having to be bothered with, if you will, all the day-to-day drama of discipline and homework getting done and things like that. We can take a little higher level approach, and that's really one of the blessings of being a grandparent, is that you don't have to get tied down in all the daily drudgery, if you will, that is involved with raising a child. You can kind of skim along the top, but yet provide them with real value at the times that they need it. A kind ear that'll listen, someone that'll understand, someone that's willing to listen to their crazy ideas where their mom or dad may be way too busy with everything else to sit through a long explanation of some complex rules for a game or something. But for the grandkids, we're living reminders to them that they're seen, they're valued, and they matter. And getting back to be the kind of person that you wish you had in your life, that can manifest itself in so many different ways. For example, you go through McDonald's drive-through and, the kids are being, kind of rambunctious because they want to get their Happy Meals, and, maybe the young teenage boy at the drive-through doesn't seem like the brightest bulb in the box. But that's a perfect example. Instead of just being kind of short and dismissive with them, take a second to stop and smile. Say, hey, buddy, hope you're having a great day. Whatever. Just something to brighten up his day just a little bit. That'll make an impact on him that, hey, from all these grouchy customers, you remember there was one old guy that smiled at him and asked him how he was doing. But just as important, your grandkids see that. And it's just one more of those little lessons that they pick up when you think that they may not be watching, but they'll remember that. I always like to tie things back to Seneca, his letters to his young friend Lucilius. In his letter 11, one of the quotes here kind of goes along with the same thing. Happy is the man who can make others better, not merely when he's in their company, but even when he is only in their thoughts. So it's with your grandkids that they see how you act around other people. They see how you act to them. And they remember that. They internalize that even when you're not there, that they're with somebody else today. They're there in school. Maybe a little bit of that will sink in when another kid isn't nice to them, and they've got a choice to, okay, well, Billy was mean to me today at playtime, so I'm going to be mean to him. Or the kid remembers, maybe something he saw me do, something he saw you do. And he says, you know what? Billy must be just having a bad day. I'll be nice to him and maybe he'll be nicer tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just give Billy some space. But something that I might have done might be there with them, even if I'm not, that they'll think about how a good way to react to some kind of provocation or aggravation. And, when I think back to my own childhood, there were times I could have used somebody to, give me a kind word or a little encouragement. Not that I had such a horrible childhood, but I do remember a time, and I'll go into this more in another video sometime, but just a church youth group leader just made an offhand comment when I won some kind of award at a county fair. And she said, "Mark, everything you touch turns to gold." Now, I'm sure it was just an offhand kind comment to her, the kind she did all the time, but that stuck with me. Not sure exactly why. I mean, I know I don't have Midas touch, but it gave me such confidence that over 50 years later, I can still remember that moment, that summer evening when she just made that comment amongst our whole group of friends. And it was a really meaningful thing. And that just shows you the power that you can have with a kind comment, being the kind of person that somebody needs to have in their life, or even just around them for a particular evening, or going through the drive-thru at McDonald's. And so for the grandkids, you could live this out too. It can be the kind of friend you would like to be, you would like to have. Treat little Billy the way you would like to have little Billy treat you. Be the kind of brother or sister that you would want to have. Got a little sister that's always getting into your stuff, cut them a little bit of slack, be nice to them. They'll remember that. And it kind of all wraps back around to the old golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Can't think of too many better rules for a child or adult to learn and live by. And then for parents and grandparents, it comes down to a couple things. Be available. Even when life is busy, take the time to stop and talk to them, offer a little bit of encouragement, and be a listener, a real listener. The kids will remember, when you took the time to actually listen and try to understand, and they'll feel heard. And that makes a big difference. It gives them the confidence that, hey, what I think, what I'm saying, it matters to somebody. And be steady. Your calm in the storm of their emotions, it matters way more than you realize. The fact that they know they've got a steady rock that they can go to for support or for love, that's huge. And then be encouraging. Just a simple, "Man, I am so proud of you," or, "Well, you are smart figuring that out." Little comments like that can stick with them all of their lives, and they'll remember that. They'll remember that long after I'm gone. And that's a good feeling to know that you leave a little bit of your philosophy, if you will, behind with them when you're gone. So, my kids, my grandkids, I would say be that person that you needed at one point in your life when you were young. So, if you got any stories you'd like to share about someone who left an impression on you just by being kind and being there, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Otherwise, this is Opa signing off, wishing you wherever you are, whenever you're watching this, that you're having a great day. Bye-bye.